Welcome to the fifth lecture in our Enhanced Electric Power Quality and Reliability series. This lecture is going to concentrate on networking and communication protocols, and it carries on from our last lesson, which was about SCADA systems, Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, just to make sure that we put this all into context. Here is our smart grid slide that we keep using, and we talked about all the different economic drivers and regulatory drivers that were making the electric grid more complex, and led to us doing new things with the grid that we were not used to doing. And so now we have a need to collect information to model what's happening and to improve the reliability of it and to deal with the new scenarios that we don't already have established procedures for dealing with. In our SCADA system, let's go to the SCADA system slide here. We've got our RTUs and PLCs that are out in the field. So just switching back between the slides here, our RTUs and PLCs would be off here in the field, maybe interfacing with the wind farm, instrumenting the wind farm, or maybe out at a factory, getting information about the usage there. Also in our transmission grid, getting information about how the electricity is flowing through the grid, and at our power plants, getting information about how much power is coming into the grid from the power plants. Our SCADA RTUs are in cabinets out in the field somewhere, bringing back the data. And in our last discussion, we really didn't talk a whole lot about how did these things down here communicate with these systems up here that are running in the control center in a data center somewhere. There has to be a communications network to get data up to where we need to see it. And so now we're ready to start talking a little bit about the networking and protocols. And just want to define what I mean by network and what I mean by protocol. So I think at this point, pretty much everybody's familiar with networking and the internet, and we're pretty comfortable with the concepts here. So let's talk a little bit about them, though. You've probably heard about Ethernet, and you go plug your computer into the network socket, and that's an Ethernet connection, right? And so that defines that's a specification that defines what's happening electrically on the wire, and how the information, how the ones and zeros are set, and clock frequencies and all that other stuff. So that's the actual network, and when you plug into the network, you get an IP address. And then once you have an address on there, people can send data to you, and you can send data to other people. Other examples of networking would be like a Wi-Fi network. So you go to Starbucks and you plug in you turn on your laptop and you connect to their access point, and you become part of their Wi-Fi network there. Or your cell phone, you turn on your cell phone and it initializes, and it becomes part of it contacts the network and gets an address on that network, and now you can communicate over that network. So the network generally deals with the infrastructure of how the actual bits move on and off of the device, and how the device is addressed. Now on top of that network, you run applications, right? And so these applications use protocols to talk to each other. And so a really good example of that would be your web browser, where you fire it up and you put in http:// in the address, and it goes and talks to the server via the HTTP protocol, which is a specification that says, this is how you ask for information, and this is how I get it. And so pretty much every application is going to have its own protocol that it uses. And we can talk about some other instances or some other examples of protocols. Skype would be another good example of a protocol, or the Skype protocol would be an example of a protocol that an application uses. And so Skype has its own specification for how data is sent between instances of the Skype program running that allow you to carry on a voice over IP conversation and send your webcam video streaming over the internet. and how your chat messages show up. So that would be another example of a protocol.